Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the UMG Gaming Studio for our Lady Spartan Pro Series, powered by Game Gooder. I'm Taylor Reflections, double joined by Shyway and Jolly. Hey, look, we got a lot of great partners, and before we even get into the matchup, can we shout out the great sponsor of Game Gooder, who's really putting all this on? All right, these glasses are pretty amazing.
Oh, you got blue as well?
So, yo,
we both got blue.
I got blue. You guys did get the pink, though. The pink is where it's at.
I got a few.
Why didn't I get the blue? So now I'm over here.
See,
now granted, the black ones are great. You know what I'm saying? They're neutral. But now you guys got to flex on me with the blue. Jolly, where'd yours go? Now you bringing out the pink?
Pink? Well, I was gonna. I just had them, and they're so bright. I don't know how I would manage to lose them, but apparently I did, I guess.
Well, wherever you live, it's still bright outside. So maybe you took a jog outside and then you left them downstairs or something. Hey, great partner, great glasses. This is the snake oil I do believe we all have on, which blue light filtering, which is fantastic. They also have sunglasses, $25, $35. They're cheap in price, but not cheap in quality. Love what they're doing. Love the flamingo too. All right, the flamingo's doing it well. What is it, Jolly? It's Carl.
Carl, yeah, Carl is his name. That's who delivered my pack, or at least. That's the return to, was to Carl.
You had a flamingo deliver your Game Gooder glasses?
What it said. I mean, at least it said it was sent from Carl, but the package was sent from Carl.
What's up?
Shyway, did Carl deliver your glasses too?
I have no idea. I got a package in the mail and it had glasses and I was very happy. Honestly,
well, you missed a good chance.
Maybe
to see Carl, brother.
I will say I like the glasses a lot, though. I don't normally wear glasses, and I'm getting older now. I turned 30 this year, so this is all starting to go up above. And the moment I put the glasses on, I was like, you know what? If I go bald, like I'm rocking these, right? Like I'm
looking fresh.
I'm gonna change it up.
Fresh today, baby.
I'm gonna put the glasses. Maybe
fresh.
I don't know. Anyway, they're very nice.
So if you lose your hair, and I hate to do this, but if you lose your hair, you and Onset would be a perfect duo. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
for HCS.
When's the last time you watched HCS? Because every one of us have some form of male pattern baldness in different ways. Not to call everyone out, but literally everyone in the broadcast has a different, anyway, we're losing it, all of us. Anyway.
Luckily, I'm 30 and I'm not losing it yet.
You're very lucky.
But,
I got it here. I got excess in the beard if you want.
Yeah.
You got it. That right there. You're like a Viking, all right, Jolly. You got plenty of hair. I'm not even gonna address it to you. All right, your hair's
too much,
flowing and
actually.
it's gorgeous. All right, let's look at our winners bracket. Never too much. All right, at least when you're speaking to Onset and you're obviously now speaking over towards Shyway. But let's take a look at winners bracket. Shyway, Hydra Gaming, they're there. You cast it over with Colin. Winners finals, close game 5. 3 points separated them from Live Fire Slayer. But Hydra Gaming, there they are in grand finals once again.
It's not unexpected to see Hydra where they are. I think it's what we could have predicted. But the way they got there, I think, wow, what a roller coaster of emotion we were just taking on in that last series. Need 8s. I wasn't sure how closely contested they would be with the team, but turns out anyone could take the series between the two. It came down to what, like 3 kills at the very end? Yeah, secured that win. So I can't wait to see if they play each other again. And it also gives me the impression that other teams might be very close to taking that dominance as well. There's no clear victor here, which I think is a beautiful thing for this tournament.
Right. Absolutely. The scary thing is Need 8's bad. They do drop down, all right? And they are, in fact, going to be in Losers Final. And that's a scary sight for Good Vibes and Falling Esports, who potentially, or not potentially, but will play against them, Jolly, in Losers Finals, depending on who ends up winning this. But Good Vibes, Falling Esports, both of them respectively beating the 2 teams that were in the winners bracket at the start of the broadcast, 69 Bandits and Mirage.
Yeah, that and everything so far that has happened in the lower bracket has been 3-0 sweeps, not any sort of competition between these two. So this is actually like a really good setup, right? The fact that both of these teams have gone through the entirety from the very first round 4 all the way to the semifinals of not having dropped a single game here. Good Vibes is one of the teams that I called out at the very beginning. There's a couple names on there that we're very familiar with, and so I was surprised to see them starting in the lower portion of the bracket, but this is going to be another good one. I think we've got all bangers for the rest of the night.
Hell yeah.
Without question. And Shyway, we go into Bazaar. We just saw that map number 4 in that winners finals. We're going back into it here for map number 1, which you were a big fan of that map one, at least in winners finals, and the reason why, just teamwork, really making the dream work. And this is a longer map, right? So they're going to get very well accustomed with each other.
Let me just specify, I love to cast this map, but I don't love to play it. My God, the patience that you need to play this map, right? Because it is such a test of teamwork and coordination. coordination. You can't just, slip in, get a flag, get it out, get a capture off of one round of slays. You need to stay coordinated. You need to continue to stop the overextenders, to stop the flankers. I mean, we saw it in the Hydra series. Minx, one player, if Minx overextends by herself, puts herself in a good spot, she can end the entire run. And that can be so difficult as a player. So this is a good test, I think, of which team is better coordinated, which team has better chemistry coming into the series.
And chemistry really has been making the Dream work, and specifically for Hydra, Need 8's bad, though, fit in really well, obviously, whenever it came to Blood Arena. Now, obviously, Good Vibes, Fallen Esports. We saw a great interview, great AMA, really, from Veronickuh Jolly, and I gotta say, she really brings a lot to the table. So I'm gonna have you take it over, talk about Good Vibes, but also, if you could, give me your player to watch presented by Respawn.
All right. Well, okay. This team.
Got the right.
I found him, by the way.
Yeah.
This is the team that at the very beginning I called out, and specifically it has to be because I saw Veronickuh's name here. Dreamyy Dreamm and Memzy. Actually, I saw them recently perform in a tournament together, and they absolutely killed it. So this is one that I've been kind of keeping eyes out for from the very beginning. But we heard it from straight from the horse's mouth. Veronickuh herself talking about her history with the game, and she has been around for a long time. The veterans are really showing off today, so I have good feelings about Good Vibes.
Good feelings about Good Vibes. That's fair, but I've got better feelings about Falling Esports. Just based off of what I've seen in their history, they are the team that tends to contend for that third place spot. Maybe they can push a little higher. My player to watch out for is going to be CommandStation. I talked about it before the break. I think she's an excellent player. I think similar to Miss Audie, she might be that main slayer, that main one to look out for on the team. I played against her in 1v1s. It didn't go too well. I've seen her play in high level in Halo 5 with some of the best players in the world and hold her own. If she can do that in H5, I'm confident the skill is going to transfer, and I can't wait to see what this team brings.
Well said from both of you. Both rosters clearly having some strong suits. They really are. And, we talked about Veronickuh. CommandStation obviously has been doing incredibly well in her own right. I'm looking at, if I had to look at anybody, PinkSakvra. I want to see how well she does. Been really impressed with the LATAM representation today. Sadly, didn't get to see LCM. That's okay. There'll be future weeks for that. But really loved what Blood Arena brought to the table. And she played very well. PinkSakvra, I'm expecting her to carry the torch and do just the same, because then we can have, PinkSakvra versus Blood Arena maybe coming up next in Losers Finals. I think that would be a pretty crazy matchup, to say the least. But Fallen Esports also has some team chemistry. PinkSakvra, xByankiss have, been a duo for quite some time, Jolly, when it comes to Halo Infinite.
Yeah, and Halo Infinite obviously is still pretty young, right? But a lot of these players and these teams have been going through Halo for years and years. Whether it was Halo 5, whether it was before that. I know that there are several players who their mainstay was Halo 3 previously, and so it's definitely a strong duo. And this is another one. I mean, like I said, the bangers for the rest of the night. But this is where things are really, really evenly matched. That's the expectation as you get down through the bracket. But really, what reinforces that is all of those 3-0s. These two teams absolutely obliterated the rest of the lower bracket, and so the fact that they are that even keeled across the board, I couldn't really call it right now. I'm pulling for Good Vibes because I'm familiar with the players and I like them and their history, but this one's up in the air still.
It's up in the air. You know what? Let's actually narrow that down a little bit. Let's do our predictions, Jolly. All right, I'm just going to full send it now because I want to know. You're sipping your tea, so Shyway, I'm actually going to have you go first. Okay?
Should I get a drink too? Just and then we'll just make you have to.
Okay, so Shyway, since you're drinking, Jolly, we can do this all day. I don't care. All right. So you know what, Shyway, I'm going to have you go first. Who are you going for? These are two great teams. You talked about one of the rosters obviously being Fallen Esports, and you gave a lot of praise towards them. But is that truly who you're going to be backing up in this matchup?
I mean, honestly, I think Jolly brought up a great point in that this game is still very young, right? We're still learning strategies.
Sure,
we still don't really know what to expect. This is, I believe, the third all-ladies official tournament that we've had so far. So I think anything can happen. And I think based off of what we've seen as far as the standing in this tournament, both of these teams have been dominating in the lower bracket. They've 3-0 every team they faced today. This is going to be close, no matter what way you shake it. I'm going to lean Falling Esports, but I'm going to go 3-2. I expect this to go the distance.
Wow. 3-2. You already had a map 5 and you're getting greedy and winning another one. Sure. I don't blame you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's fun to get.
Hey, oh, absolutely. Map 5, especially when it comes down to just 3 kills, Shyway. It's awesome. Yeah. So Fallen Esports, which, by the way, dope logo. Dope logo. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I like it. It's out there. Jolly, Are you going to be going with Shyway, or are you going to be going in a different direction like Colin did earlier?
Yeah, I'm not going with Shyway on this one. Okay, come on. I got investment. I got investment on these gals on Good Vibes. I've seen them perform in the past. I've gotten to cast, one of the previous events that was the women's only tournament. So I already got to see like firsthand what these gals can do together, and they are really dominant. That, and also I want my predictions to be like right on. Everybody at the beginning of this was like, all right, Hydra's probably preferred to win. The two teams that I called out though were 8s, and were this one in, oh my gosh, as I forget their name.
Either way, you were on point, Jolly.
Hold on
point with whatever it was.
Yeah, we're talking about. Doesn't even have it at the bottom there.
Need 8s? Are we talking about Hydra? Are we talking about Good Vibes?
Good Vibes, thank you. The team that I'm literally saying, the team that I'm actually voting. I can think of the players' names. I couldn't think of the name of the team. But those are the ones I called out. I'd love to see them in losers
none of
finals.
us are forgetting this team. That's for sure.
That's true.
I missed my nap today, okay? That's my excuse.
Honestly, I feel that naps are the best. They really... Actually, there's one of the... I wish I had Magic, because Magic took a note that literally said that this player specifically loves long naps. And I don't know who... Because we were talking about how she's kind of our spirit animal at this point. So, chat... Now you got to be the tiebreaker. Who are you going to be going for? Where is the channel points being invested? Fallen Esports, or are you going over for Good Vibes? It's going to be Fallen Esports. Shyway, they side with you this time around. You're not by yourself. Even though last time it was actually good, you were, because you were the only right one.
And I
going with Hydra,
correct,
even though it was just 3. It was just 3 points. But
there's an interesting, because I guess Jolly's never been wrong. I've never been wrong. So this is a tiebreaker on many different counts here. This is quite a battle.
True. Okay. So if it is series score, then tiebreaker, would it be 3-2? Would it be close, or is this going to be just, you know what, I'm going to take the victory, Shyway? You just going to beat down Jolly, or what's going on?
We'll find out by the end of the day. Let's start here and see where it goes.
He already called it. He already called it 3-2. It's going to be it is going to be a 3-2, but it's going to be in favor of Good Vibes.
Okay.
Fair enough. I like this. See, this is the spiciness that I was missing at the beginning. All right, so keep this banter up, because I do believe production this time around is tallying up the scores, and we might see it at the very end. Of course, chat, this is all for fun, right? We still want the best competitors to just compete and play it out. Whoever wins, well, they win. You know, they're the better competitors at the end of the day, and we just want a good series nonetheless, but we like to have a little bit of fun amongst ourselves, and it is going to be fun, because this series is going to determine who plays Need 8's bad, which, if we do want to talk about history, every team, there's only been 2 of them, but now there's 3 of them technically, but the first 2 teams that dropped were 3-0'd. So now you got to kind of question Shyway. Is it a big mental breakdown, right? When you're so close to victory, you're in the winner's circle, and I brought this up at the beginning, but now bring it up again. You're so close to potentially making a big impact in a tournament. Now you're in the loser's bracket fighting for your life, and Need 8's bad are right there, whereas Good Vibes and Fallen Esports, since the start of the day, they've had nothing to lose.
That's a good point, right? These 2 other teams on the come up, they got less pressure on their shoulders and more opportunity to play comfortably and to go crazy, just go wild with it.
Sure.
In the meantime, though, Need 8s, they are no strangers. Like I've said it a million times now, they're put in this position where they're under pressure. They will execute. I guarantee you, because I've seen Miss Audie and team in this situation before, and they're very confident despite it. So they might be hungry. They might be thinking about getting to grand finals. What they might have to do is watch out for the teams that are coming for them through the lower bracket, because these teams, I mean, whoever wins this series has got to be some kind of well-oiled machine. After the 2 3-0s back-to-back, this one I think is the make or break. That's really going to give them a precedent, I think, for what's to come.
That's right. And speaking of which, and Good Vibes did take a map off of Need 8's, and that was, it's impressive. Okay. And you might say that's not that impressive because it's a best of 5. Well, no, they took a map off of them when it was best of 3s last Saturday. So they went the distance. They did go to game 3 against Need 8's, and it was a close series from what I heard. So Good Vibes might be the favorite here. And Jolly Good Vibes does have some good communication, apparently. The IGL role seems to be shared between Veronickuh and Dreamyy, who are both going to be going, back and forth. And that's going to be great, because if you look at this roster, you've got Memzy, who comes from COD, but she's made a great adjustment, obviously, over towards Halo. And then to round it out, obviously, you have Songfullyy. But Songfullyy isn't necessarily well-versed, per se. And I don't say that as an insult, but this is her first competitive title that she's actually competed in, Halo Infinite.
Which is really cool. Honestly, at the end of the day, I think that that is something that's really inspiring for a lot of people that might be watching this or they haven't been involved in esports previously. And they say, hey, you know what? I'm finding that I really enjoy playing this. I want to play it at a competitive level. I want to be more involved. And this is the, I think Songfullyy has actually performed really, really well in Infinite. I saw her previously in the last championship series that I was able to cast that was women only. And I think that this is her time to shine.
Time to shine. And you know what? I love that. I really do. Shyway, you said it at the beginning of the broadcast. This is the time to really showcase what you're about.
Right.
We talk about the veterans. We talk about Queen. We talk about, Bittersweet. We talk about, obviously, Misati having a big impact. But now it's time for, okay, I've never really seen Songfullyy. Or in your case, you actually never seen Lakar play. But you saw her play. You've been impressed with her. And now you're going to know who she is for the future. So I'm excited to see both of these teams play for the first time today on broadcast. Hey, let's get it going. Map number 1, CTFSR, Good Vibes versus Fallen Esports.
Thank you, Taylor. I think the question here is not just about who wins, it's about who can own and dominate in that spotlight. And jolly pleasure to cast with you as well.
Oh, I'm so excited. This is a real opportunity. No, I've done just a few Halo casts. I do Rocket League, I do League of Legends, I do Overwatch, I do a ton of different games.
Now you're just flexing on me.
No, I'm very excited that Halo is one that I was able to pick up because I have been waiting for this game to come out for so long. We're already seeing Memzy's doing a great job, has that player cam on as well. And Veronickuh, the player that I was calling out a little bit earlier today, who always tends to pop off, knows the positioning she has to have coming into this hallway, but just a little bit around the corner, she ends up going down.
That positioning is going to be so massive here because you can look at Fallen Esports going to fly into bar. Two of them, for some reason, not seeing this one player hiding behind the corner here. Does pick up a trade, but still the pressure on the side of Fallen Esports, still looking to make some strides onto the flag. A defensive play out of Veronickuh. Maybe that was the little opening they needed to get out of this. CommandStation still there, though.
You always have to watch out for CommandStation. Ooh, that one looked very unfortunate, actually. Maybe a little bit of a stutter step trying to move forward for Veronickuh. I mean, when you're caught between a rock and a hard place like that, you don't really have any direction to go in particular. Now we can see CommandStation just setting up camp here, trying to find a nice little vantage point. A couple members of Fallen Esports getting picked off, though, so Good Vibes still staying in this one. And really, at this point, it's just kind of the two teams feeling each other out. No real full moves for these flags quite yet.
Not just yet, but one thing's for sure, the pressure advantage on Fallen Esports. They had been, hard pressed in the side of their base. Things have now changed, though. They might change for the better on the side of Good Vibes. Just look at this. Nice little push coming in. 2 did die on Good Vibes, though. At the same time, Veronickuh gonna take 2 of her own. So nice little flank out of her. Now they have to respect her and look at her over in lockers here. What can she do to draw attention? Gonna pick up the OS as well. Her teammates coming out to center. And a great opportunity here for Good Vibes. Now they can be the aggressors if they can stay up.
There it is. Some nice close shots. This is exactly what Veronickuh wants, especially after popping that over shield that she was able to pick up. And the positioning in the center definitely held by Good Vibes for the last little bit. Man, this is one of those maps too where if you've got a close range weapon in general, you are setting yourself up for success. And there it is, a killing spree. Most of those shots coming through as the shotgun. And Veronickuh feeling very good moving forward. Now Good Vibes has hit their stride.
Definitely putting this weapon to work. She's got her teammates with her to help as well. You can see CommandStation now in trouble. She does drop. Flag might be pulled here. Idea's in trouble too. Veronickuh looking for it all. She's got to reload. Only so many times you can continue to shoot them before you are in trouble yourself. Looks like that flag is still out though. Idea is going to stop that in its tracks. And it is on the wall, but definitely not safe just yet for Fallen Esports. Looks like they might still get away with the return.
Nice, that was very clutch and a perfect position, honestly, for that flag to have dropped for them to be able to recover that. Being able to set up camp just crouched down behind that little station there. Right. So we'll now see if one of these flags can actually make it across the map. There's so many different options, so many different routes that you can take in Bazaar. If you're moving forward, we're seeing ideas popping off. You're getting a little bit of help there from the rest of the team. And it looks like it's a pretty solid wipe on to Good Vibes, meaning Fallen Esports have found themselves in a great position to begin the travel of this flag.
The difficulty here is finding the opening, but Fallen Esports, they may have just found exactly what they needed. They got the slays, they got the flag out. Overextension, though, coming to the opposite flag. You can see a couple red members. 2 actually died, though. And you've got a couple more going to come in to try to stop this flag. Your Dynamo down. Massive kill at a Songfullyy. Can she stop this flag in its tracks? She wants to stay up, though. Flag's still there. She's still going in with the aggression here. You got xByankiss to take her in a big fight. That flag's still moving. PinkSakvra will take it to the last links. And it looks like that one's going in for a 1-0 and some great teamwork here out of Falling Esports.
That's the first one on board. See if they can continue on with this pressure, because it certainly felt like Good Vibes had a window of opportunity there where they were moving forward. They had a team wipe, and then they got wiped multiple times themselves in response. A nice shot right there with the harpoon. And it will be the pickup on the kill, not even the melee. The last shot right there in the battle rifle. PinkSakvra popping off just like we hoped she would.
Might as well call the thing a harpoon, right? The way that she's using it there, just tagging it with the grapple. Gonna close the distance. That keeps the fight scrappy. Veronickuh gonna do what she can just to hold on to rockets. This positioning gonna be so helpful for her team if she can lock down Rock's side. Her entire team can get angles on the map. Veronickuh might be that difference maker. So just looking for xByankiss in the meantime, though, does pick her up. Has the dynamos as well. She can use these to open things up for her team. Assuming she stays up, though. PinkSakvra looking for her.
Lots of damage going across, and this is where Good Vibes keep trying to find a mainstay here in the center of the map at the market, but Falling has the upper hand, no pun intended on that, most of the time, and they end up having vantage points, being able to drop down from ahead, pull the commando out to pick up the kill. Look at that one. Hold this, of course. Doing a great job of utilizing that secondary weapon. It looks like the rest of Falling Esports is finding some success for themselves, maybe giving them the opportunity to push forward, but they're almost just waiting for Good Vibes to trickle in, waiting for the opportunity, or looking for another full team wipe so they can make a huge push forward.
Oh no, oh my God, for a second. That would have been a total, a nightmare for Dreamyy Dreamm, trying to find a joke out of her name. But somehow she does get away. And because of it, that defense might be enough for Good Vibes to break out of this. The timing is crucial here, too. We got rockets. We got OS coming up. CommandStation in position for rockets. She's getting tagged up, though. And that's because of the positioning out of Memzy right there in the locker to make sure she dies quickly. Dreamyy Dreamm in position to get the rockets herself. So maybe she could do some damage with this.
This has been absolute mayhem, though. I mean, I don't know about you, Shyway. This is a crazy game. Bazaar tends to be this way. That's a very normal thing, especially when it comes to capture the flag on Bazaar. You don't really have any consistency across the board. And so that's definitely something that both of these teams are feeling. The push now coming potentially out of Good Vibes. You see the overshield was picked up and utilized there as they're trying to hook around the corner here on the west alley. But it's going to be Songfullyy that gets there first. See how far she can take it.
It's a good opening so far. And like you said, one thing you can't avoid is scrappy fights out mid on this map. It's just so open in the center. You're going to get into fights. You're going to have to, win those battles to get those opportunities. Flag's still out. It's still moving, though. We've got xByankiss on board here. She is the line of defense for this flag. She's got to make a massive play and doesn't have a lot of spacing to do it. A perfect kill. She does die, though, and that flag going to be collected. And I think it's going straight into the capture. That's a 1-1. Good Vibes going to bring things back. They got plenty of time to also take the game.
Very even keeled here. So many deaths on board right now when we're looking at the KDAs for these players. Of course, now that things are tied up, they kind of have a moment to sort of collect themselves. This is where you acknowledge, okay, hey, we figured it out. We've at least acknowledged that, hey, we're at the same level again. We're at base one more time. How do we group or do we split? How do we move forward with this? And Good Vibes, it looks like, is just taking vantage points, taking notes from Falling Esports previously in this round.
Veronickuh seems to be her favorite weapon here is this shotgun. Like you said, unfortunately, she got caught in a bit of a 2v1 there, and a double off of it too. Ideas. She's going to jump out, look for a little more there. CommandStation in position to pick it up. And because everyone's died, this is perfect. I think the OS just got grabbed by Falling Esports as well. They are going in very aggressive with this. Flag pulled on the opposite side, though. Well, it happens, though. Memzy somehow sneaking away with a flag while the aggression comes in.
Veronickuh able to pick up a couple. She does end up going down, and it's almost another wipe here onto Good Vibes. That means that Falling Esports has the opportunity to move forward. It's PinkSakvra that picks up the flag. The rest of the team is in the wings. And what just happened? I think it fell down the bridge. She dropped it down the bridge. You heard it clank down below. You got to take a second look at that one. Falling Esports still has it, though.
Despite the fumble, right? It's still out bottom mid. They still got numbers. They're going to try to carry it further here. Can they get it past the double doors? That's the big objective, and I think they did it. PinkSakvra looking like she's got it past the doors, so she'll get it through the last links, and there's no one there to stop her, so 2-1. Falling Esports, they find their opportunity. They pull away, and how the rockets, now all the artillery is coming up too.
That has been their game plan, right? This is, like I said, just take vantage points, wait for good vibes to come out, get what is close to a team clear or a team wipe, and then just run in for the flag. And, you know, as long as you've got somebody watching your back, in this instance, it's very hard for good vibes to reposition themselves after respawning, especially with somebody running to your side of the map. That's going to adjust a lot of these spawn points when you have a wipe.
It's happening all over again, right? The pressure coming out of Falling Esports. We've got multiple dead here. They're going to try to run it straight through Treehouse. There's multiple here to defend it, though, and it's all up to PinkSakvra in this fight. And can she take it somehow? She'll get the wingman. She'll stay alive, and that's massive. Falling Esports, another flag out center.
Now it's prime position for the respawns coming out of good vibes, though, so it does look like it's going to be a challenge for them to come through the center, which is definitely the way the good vibes is navigating, not taking the sides, not really taking the alleys, and that one's going to drop down, unfortunately, for Veronickuh, who's trying to pick this one up for good vibes, and they are finding some almost team clears on their own.
I mean, not only the defensive play that they have to keep their flag in play, they've got a run of their own going, and it's all thanks to Veronickuh. She gets it up to the wall. She's getting tagged up. Can't quite get around the wall. Flag in a good spot, though. You can see that flag in the opposite side as well, so what we might have is a standoff. And it's all going to come down to these slays and the defense as well. Did it get returned?
Reset, I think.
So they flanked through, they returned it, and because of it, that flag is going in.
Yep, PinkSakvra has the opportunity here. We can see her carrying this one forward, and would you look at that? What a turnaround from Falling Esports. It looked like good vibes had the advantage on that one, found another tie-up, and that was not the case.
The brutal reality here, though, there's only 1 minute left on the clock. So on top of Falling Esports play, they have just essentially secured the game, unless good vibes can make one massive play here. And they're going to have to win center map control to do it. So on to Memzy. Gotta watch out for Dynamos as well, though. Ideas using those exceptionally. Gonna keep Memzy back. She's trying to peek in, but every death here is so crucial. 1 minute to make an impact.
Veronickuh comes up in clutch below, though, finds the double kill. Now she's going across the capture, misses the first jump, but that's okay. She's got a bit of time. She does have the couple of respawns, though, that have come through for Falling Esports. The rest of the team hopefully close behind her, so no flank opportunities come through. Recognizes she missed too many shots there and got hit by one too many. Manages to pick up the kill. Does she have another double here? She absolutely does. It's a back smack, and that should be an amazing play moving forward here for the flag to be taken potentially again by good vibes.
Veronickuh is doing so much for her team right now, by the way. 24 kills, 10 assists, and she's got the objective play in lock as she takes out that flag. This is the final opportunity. There's 15 seconds on the clock. It's not going to trigger a sudden death unless they plant this in 10 seconds. They got to go as quickly as possible. I don't know if she can make it. She's not getting tagged up, but she's fighting the clock here. In the last 2 seconds, she'll
there it is!
But they still have to pull. They got a player in the other base. Dreamyy Dreamm will pull a flag and trigger a sudden death.
Way.
Are you kidding me?
They actually managed to pull it off. Dreamyy Dreamm now halfway across the market here. Has to be incredibly careful. Is getting flanked from multiple areas. Can she make it? No. Flag is still out, though.
You said it's still there. CommandStation there to stop it, but is it enough? Veronickuh gonna grab the flag and somehow...
Oh my god!
They're gonna do this.
They're doing it! They are doing it! Good Vibes is keeping this alive. No way! They managed to tie it up at the end. We're going into overtime here, Shyway.
That is the type of play that you want to go back in theater and watch and just figure out what happened. Because Veronickuh, she popped off. She made massive plays for her team, pulls the flag, runs it through center. Unfortunately, it looks like we did have a game crash, so we're going to reset the lobby. We're going to make sure it's just it's a one flag to win when we come back to that. But unbelievable to not... Oh, apparently we're in the game, so we're going to come right back in. To not only cap the flag, but to have a teammate in the back of the base ready to pull the second. If that teammate wasn't there, this game would have been over. Instead, we're still going.
Not only that, but I mean, even the stress of being able to capture that second flag, of having it counting down and locking it in at 2 seconds is insane. I can only imagine the BPM right now, the heart rate of the players on Good Vibes, and I'm sure Falling Esports has practiced their surprise faces enough to react to that one, because I was not anticipating that Good Vibes would be able to pull that off. And teamwork makes the dream work. We saw it happen right there, so now Falling Esports has to kind of recover. This is a golden flag situation.
And the worry here for Good Vibes, though, is Falling Esports, they can recover, and they can do so very quickly. Only one flag. That can happen in just a matter of seconds, as you see now out center. And this fight for defense, so huge from Memzy. She's going to do what she can. just to do damage. She's going out center as well. Bit of a risky play. You can see that Ideas was looking for it. Flag still out. Is there anybody in position to stop it? Unfortunate fumble here for PinkSakvra. She's playing it slowly, and that might actually give Veronickuh and Good Vibes some time to get defense here. They need to stay alive.
That is rough if you're PinkSakvra. You were not expecting that to happen. Of course, CommandStation is now chasing this one up and over. We saw that Veronickuh was in the wings, but it's too little too late. The flag is picked up, and game number 1 goes over to Falling Esports.
What a game 1. I could not have expected that result, especially in the final 15 seconds of the game, to see that much out of Veronickuh and team. And I mean, massive shout out to Veronickuh for playing as well as she did. But in the end of the day, it's a team game, and Falling Esports, their teamwork and that final close from CommandStation definitely sealed it out.
That was such a close one, though. Oh my goodness. You gotta feel good if you're Good Vibes for being able to pull that off. That is something that is, it's like we said, it's highlight reel worthy. It is definitely one that you want to go back into the theater and watch. You got to clip that. You got to share that on social media because, I mean, just an exceptional play for them to be able to actually execute, getting 2 flags back to back with so little time and so much pressure on them.
Now taking a look at the scoreboard, though, we can see who really was the impact player for these teams, right? PinkSakvra, we talked about it earlier, 3 flags to her name, so doing a lot of objective work. And like I said earlier, it's wild to see Veronickuh with the most flag captures and the most kills at the same time. I mean, it's great that she's able to do all the damage, all the work that she can, but when you get down to Slayer, when you get down to these crucial teamwork moments, we're going to have to find, that chemistry with the rest of the team. I mean, 27 kills, my God. Ideas, though, 35 to her name.
Yeah, and just looking at the KDs as well, everybody else on the team aside from Veronickuh is in the negative. So Veronickuh also picking up almost the most assists. Of course, Songfullyy is the one who grabbed that with 14, as we can see there, but stats all around. There's a reason that I called this girl out, right? She is absolutely amazing at this game, and we need to see if the rest of the team can kind of step it up to match that. We saw it happen at the end of this round.
I mean, look at it. This was the beginning of the game, right? 5 kills with the shotgun to start, just forcing these close quarters engagements and winning fights left and right. Here we go. The only thing that stopped her from getting another kill was reloading in that situation. She just doesn't have enough bullets to do it. But in the end of the day, it was Falling Esports in the team chemistry, though, right? The full team push that we saw from all angles to secure those slays and make it very easy to then run the flag. There's the harpoon, too.
Oh, yeah, the harpoon. There it is.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, lots of damage. At that point, if that's how you're using it, if that's how you're picking up the kill,
yeah,
I think it's a very fitting name right there.
That's actually the medal, by the way.
Yeah. The medal. Oh, yeah, exactly. I just mean, like, it's a very fitting name to have the grapple, like, to have it be called the harpoon there. This one, I'm surprised at how minimal. While we saw, the Bulldog come out, we saw, the close quarters. We only saw that rocket launcher come into play like one time, maybe, at least on plays that were around the objectives, ones that we were able to have eyes on here as it's cycling through the different cameras. But I love to see it. It's back to basics, right? It's kind of what we saw from both of these teams, and it was standard good stuff in any FPS. Good target acquisition, good communication, good teamwork and contact. So I love to see it, and I'm very excited moving forward because we have got, of course, Recharge, and we've got Slayer on that map.
Okay. Right, and just based off of what we saw in that first game, it's not really, you can't really say that one team has a lot more confidence or momentum than the other coming into it. It was so close, right? Especially with CommandStation and team kind of experiencing a bit of a blunder at the end of that game to lose 2 flags back to back and force it to overtime. It shouldn't have even gone there in the first place. So that kind of, kills their momentum a little bit. And I think it puts these teams on a pretty even playing field coming into Slayer. So really anybody could pop off here, and what a map to do it. You've got so much to work with on this map to make plays.
And based on that last matchup, I guess the players that we should kind of be keeping eyes on for Good Vibes, it's Veronickuh. For Falling Esports, it's Ideas, who had, I think, 35 kills in that previous game. So while almost every single one of the captures went over to Sakvra, which she would have had all 4, by the way, but it was right at the end that she ended up dying, right? And so you ended up having Command Center jump in and save the day and pick up that flag. I would definitely say Ideas is going to be a pivotal member that we are watching to put up points here in this next one for Recharge.
Right, and that's kind of the big question mark. When we get into Slayer, there's a few key Slayers on this Falling Esports team. I mean, idea is to get upwards of 30 kills. Okay, well, she looks like a main Slayer. Then you got CommandStation, who I had already said was the Slayer coming into this. So the two of them together, I mean, you take the shock rifle, the sword, the mangler, some of the goodies on this map. I mean, the capability they have is incredible. Veronickuh, on her own, she can definitely stand, especially you give the girl a shock. I'm sure she'll pop off, but can her teammates follow suit? Can her teammates, create openings for her to play her best, or vice versa? Can she bring the best out of her teammates here? There's a lot to control, and the only objective is to get the kills.
I do think it is a really good sign, though, that, not only is it exciting that Good Vibes is able to pull off a play like that, but under so much pressure, actually being able to execute it the way that they did so successfully says a lot. So it is very possible that, this is the team that is in a better position if their backs are put to the wall. We haven't really seen exactly, on the other hand, how Falling Esports does when they are behind a certain amount or when they are facing potential demise in that situation. So this one is absolutely up in the air. I love Slayer. I love that it's recharge. I have a good feeling that we're going to see a lot of mangler, melee, and particularly probably Veronickuh picking that one up. If it's not the shock rifle, that's likely the one that we're going to be seeing a lot of. But who knows? Because again, both of these teams really just kind of sticking to the fundamentals of what works well in Halo games, and it worked well for both of them.
Right. I mean, the mangler works well, so I don't doubt it being picked up. Unless the way this weapon works is if it's not GA'd, then you need to grab it. If it's spawned, it's on the wall, then you're doing something wrong for your team. It adds so much power, and it's just so available. Then you got the grapple and the repulsor as well, right? The type of playmaking ability with those equipment items and the camo out bottom center. Typically on this map, we should expect to see that high ground control right up in attic, up in A, just like you see in strongholds. Try to lock the spawners out into long haul, into low ground. But with those weapons, I think you got a lot of variance at play. Maybe they get aggressive. Maybe they go into the spawns. Maybe they flip it. As long as the team is coordinated and they're aware and they're communicating, then they can create that snowball. So can't wait to see, who kind of pops off and pulls away.
And we'll also have to see, too, if Falling decides to kind of utilize the same strategy that they did there and waiting for these members of Good Vibes to kind of trickle out to this main point, right, when they are sitting at vantage points, instead of going in the aggressive manner. Just wait for them to come to you, and then you go ahead and try to stalk or watch out for where those respawns are going to be at. Maybe try to stagger them out on top of it, and that's a really good way for Falling Esports that we found, at least in that Capture the Flag game on Bazaar, for them to be able to take the upper hand pretty early on. They kind of faltered with it a little bit towards the end, but I really do think that was just Good Vibes putting everything to the wall, and it took Falling Esports by surprise for sure. Like, it probably would have taken anyone by surprise.
Right, and the fact that they can do that makes me think that they've got some clutch factor, some ice they can maybe bring into game 2 as well. But here we go, finally, our map overview. Recharge, Slayer, an opportunity for Good Vibes to bring this to a tie, or maybe an opportunity for Falling Esports to pull away and really secure this series. I hope it goes the distance, though, so we'll see. It's going to be a bloodbath regardless.
I mean, given how many kills, how many deaths we had just in that previous matchup, when we're looking at Capture the Flag, and most of what we're seeing, I mean, it's not until the last couple of minutes that we're actually seeing the captures. It's mostly just a bloodbath on the field for the whole early part. That means that this game mode is perfect for all 8 ladies here.
Ooh, and you gotta love the movement coming right off the rip here with CommandStation. She'll hit a quick slide to get an angle immediately. You got a teammate with a kill already. That's Ideas. We said to look out for her and her slaying ability. PinkSakvra gonna look to turn the favor in a fight with Dreamyy Dreamm, but Dreamyy Dreamm gonna come out with that win.
Dreamyy Dreamm and Veronickuh, definitely a mainstay in terms of duos in the Halo community. And hey, they're showing us exactly why that is. Falling Esports, though, has found some good vantage points so far, and they are kind of doing what I anticipated them doing. Just hang out in a vantage point, hang out above the enemy, try to pop off shots when they poke their heads out.
The wonder here is who comes away with that map control with those weapons, right? I didn't see the camo in play. Not sure if it got burned. In the meantime, PinkSakvra does know that Dreamyy is here. She'll drop a nade behind Dreamyy with the movement to try to escape it. Getting caught in a jump, though. PinkSakvra almost getting a second kill here, but Songfullyy will escape. And her survival going to be so helpful for Veronickuh. You can see she's doing a lot of work here in center map to stay up.
just not able to move now at this point. That is a really rough position to be in. She did end up getting caught out. It looks like Dreamyy Dreamm is in the same exact situation, and it ends up being a pinch play that works out for Falling Esports. So on opposite sides of the map, two of the Good Vibes players find themselves just trying to hide behind a pillar. It doesn't work out for them. We see the Mangler, I do believe, was the secondary. Yes, there it is. The Mangler has been picked up here by Ideas, and definitely a player to watch. I said she's gonna be the one to keep your eyes on. She's currently 5-0-2.
I'm glad you said that. I was about to say the same thing. I mean, 5 kills already to start the game. We got to stay on board with her. She'll hit the Mangler, drop the nade behind, looking for maybe a secondary angle. She's got 2 teammates across the map. Perfect little pinch opportunity if they can work together. Look at this. PinkSakvra picking up 2 in the feed. That's the opening that they needed. Do they go for the pinch or do they play for the camo? Look at this. Ideas. She wants that camo. She's burning the repulsor out too to make sure nobody gets to it.
She picked it up. Oof, there are eyes on her. Some shots, and just like that, Memzy finds her and takes her down. The repulsor used there, and the active camo is now out the window here. But Good Vibes feeling okay about that one. You now see PinkSakvra trying to hide in this corner, and that was a very successful play. There are still nades coming around the corner, but Good Vibes have kind of been cornered themselves now on the opposite side of this platform.
The big question is, how do you approach this, right? You can see the setup here for Good Vibes. They're playing it carefully, playing the high ground. You need to push as twos. You need to push as pairs. So can they time their push together and coordinate their efforts here? It's going to come down to CommandStation as well. She's in a central spot here. Got a teammate with a challenge, and then the bait and switch. So perfect. That'll deal with Dreamyy. Got her teammates flying in to pick up the pieces as well. PinkSakvra with 1, xByankiss with another. They've got the map back and a kill advantage off of this.
Just the one. I'm surprised it's only 13-14. I'm not gonna lie here, Shyway. It feels like we've already got so many more deaths on board. Look at these headshots from the Mangler that is coming out from Songfullyy. She just needed 1 more, but she wasn't quite able to get that one. Still picked up 1 before she went down herself. Looks like CommandStation has gone down. That Mangler now coming into play for Ideas, and no big surprise, that's a mainstay for this player. I've primarily seen that Mangler being picked up by Ideas here, and she is putting it to work.
I mean, it just goes to show how powerful the Mangler is. If she can look at the shock rifle, like she stared down the shock and then changed her mind and just said, nah, I don't need it. I'm a Mangler. I'm a Mangler kind of gal. You know, I'm going to get a Mangler beatdown. It's just that much more effective. Leaving the shock there, though, Good Vibes might pick that up, though, right? That might be a game changer if they can use it effectively.
We'll have to see if it does come into play here. Of course, Good Vibes have now separated themselves across this across this map. CommandStation taking on Dreamyy. Now it is just a breakaway from that fight, both realizing, okay, we don't want to get flanked by somebody on your team, and that's very likely to happen. So much movement, preemptive movement made by all these players to just try to get into a vantage point, into a position, and you can only sit there for like 5-10 seconds. You can't just sit there forever.
It's that spacing and awareness, right? They come into a fight, but they know their escape routes immediately. Last thing they want to do is get compromised, get killed for free. So they kind of test the waters, come in, fire a couple shots. If they realize they're compromised, they not only back down, they reposition, they find a new angle of attack and keep you guessing. I mean, look at this out of Ideas. Last thing she wants is to get caught here, so a grapple to get back to safety. Got to watch out for 2, though, as the 2-player push comes in, and that's the teamwork at a Good Vibes to hopefully even the odds here. You got to watch out for CommandStation, though. And PinkSakvra with a play of her own.
Oof, ends up going down there. Memzy's absolutely popping off this game, currently leading the team 7-1-6 at the moment. It is still Falling Esports that have themselves at currently a 4-kill advantage, though PinkSakvra really picking up a lot of slack because we had Ideas popping off in the early part of this game, Shyway, and now it's PinkSakvra at every single corner, facing every single member of Good Vibes down here. And Veronickuh and Dreamyy Dreamm in particular actually struggling on this one.
Right. Their whole team, actually, we do have Memzy with 7, and we do have quite an exchange here in control. Songfullyy gonna walk away with a sword out of that one. 5-kill deficit here, but I mean, plays like that, that'll even the odds. And why not just play it patient? The issue here is with the slay advantage out of Falling Esports, they don't have to move, right? They can let Good Vibes come to them. Or do we wait out the camo spawning bottom center? So that's kind of the point of contention here.
Songfullyy does have the grappling hook on this one. But she's got herself in this corner. You did not want to give a player like PinkSakvra or Ideas a sword. Like, that's the plasma sword in their hands is the last thing I would ever want to face up against. So Songfullyy, rightfully so, being very careful with this one. She's going to find one around the corner. Can she grapple to the second? I don't know if she saw them, to be honest there. The rest of the team at least has her back. We'll see if she's able to drop down and get one of these. Yeah, the rest of the team actually doing a great job of pulling aggro away here from Songfullyy so that she can remain alive.
Right, so her not getting aggressive, I think, is a good idea, though, too, right? It would have been very risky. And the beauty of the sword is, I mean, we saw that trade earlier, the fact that you can be one-shot and trade with the sword and still survive. And it's quite annoying if you're on the receiving end of it. But, I mean, if you're holding that sword, you got to abuse that to the best of your ability. Make it difficult for the enemy team. You can see Songfullyy still waiting there. And Falling Esports have no choice but to respect it. You see the little flank coming out as they go bottom map. CommandStation knows the presence and control. So she knows she's got to go behind enemy lines. 2 big pickups, too. Might help her out.
Especially when she's got the Mangler, so she has an opportunity if you can get in close range, right? Back smack not even necessary right there. We can see the sword still being held by Good Vibes. It's now on to Memzy, who has certainly been popping off here. That is going to be a back and forth kill, double beatdown here between Songfullyy and CommandStation. That means that the sword still should be in favor of Good Vibes, and Memzy's continuing to pop off. It's great to see. Good shots there, but it's great to see this team as well-rounded as you hope for them to be. Veronickuh and Dreamyy Dreamm in game number 1 really flaunting their stuff, and now this time in Slayer, it is Memzy's and Songfullyy that are putting points up.
We talked about it in the first game. Their entire team needs to act together, right? They all need to perform. You're only as strong as your weakest link. So like you said, the fact that they're playing as well as they are, definitely a good sign, but they are still down by 3. And you can see Falling Esports just edging them out a little bit. And I think the big indicator is these power weapons. Sword about to spawn, camo about to spawn. Veronickuh, an opportunity to make a big play here. She's got Songfullyy with her. Songfullyy with a pickup. That's an opening to get the camo. Do they play for it, though? Songfullyy weak. Veronickuh looking over to Dreamyy Dreamm. She's dead. She's got to find an angle here because that camo and the sword is up.
Go down below, picks up the repulsor here, does manage to get the one, and that's 3 members of Falling Esports that are down. If there's ever a time to make a move for AC, now is it. Dreamyy Dreamm barely able to stay alive. Falling Esports should spawn around the same 2 areas, though, so they will at least have 2 duos split across the field.
Right, they won that exchange, they burned the camo, they evened the odds a little bit, so honestly the best they could have hoped for from that situation. The only thing they don't have is map control, right? Falling Esports has high ground, they got a perimeter, and they're looking for those optimal positions. You can see Good Vibes playing it very slowly. Last thing they want to do is lose a member. They did pick up the sword, though, so do they get aggressive? Do they all move together? Look at all 4 of them together. I mean, why not just plow through as a unit here?
It looks like both teams, too, have that exact same idea. And 35-36 means you got to be careful if you're Falling Esports. You've had the lead pretty much this entire game. xByankiss almost finding another one there, but there has not been a kill in at least the last 30 to 60 seconds, which is insane to consider how many we saw back to back to back. But both of these teams, they recognize they're getting down to the wire. You're getting down to the nitty-gritty. You got to move forward with some trepidation, some hesitation.
Definitely. You got to wonder what the communication is like in this situation, right? Knowing how close together these players are, you got to know how to play around them, right? Whether or not to flank or whether to back off, to rotate yourself. You can see players starting to spread out here. You got Songfullyy, Memzy going to get tagged up, tagging it out with the pings as well, right? Great way to communicate with the team. Let them know that there's 2 over in long haul and you got to stay alive and keep yourself scarce. Still a 1-kill advantage. What's going on?
Oh my gosh.
We still haven't seen a kill.
That's the crazy, not even just still a 1-kill advantage, but no kills going across the board finally, and it ends up being 3 total, which evens the score up. Good Vibes has caught up to Falling Esports. They themselves, of course, only had about a 4-kill advantage when they were at their peak in this game, and now things are transitioning in favor of Good Vibes as a couple more kills are picked up by them with only 11 to go to win this game.
The worry here is we're not just playing for Slice anymore. We're playing to the time, right? 1:40 left on the clock. And high ground in the favor of Veronickuh. She's got that 1-kill advantage, so let them come to her. CommandStation might want to think twice about the challenge, though. You got Veronickuh watching the door. With CommandStation idea bottom map, you got to see Good Vibes in position to find an angle. Unfortunately, one of them drops, though. That ties the game. Pressure going to come in here from CommandStation. Big square off with her and Veronickuh. And Veronickuh coming away with that kill is massive. There's 1:15 left.
Pretty clean on that one, too. Still a tiny bit of her shields left over, and it looks like she is now in a position where she has to face off against multiple members here. She ends up being able to take another 1 to 2 down with her in the end, though. That means it is still just a 1-kill advantage in favor of good vibes. This is, I mean, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. I can't stop bouncing my leg. This is so intense. This is just how this whole series is going to go. I know it, but it's still, I'm biting my nails because this is still up in the air, right? And now it is tied back up. Now the lead has been taken by Fallen.
Wow. It's just the lead is trading literally every second. Right now, 45 to 44, Falling with a 1-kill advantage here. Center map in control of good vibes. You can see them out on B. They're going to get tagged up, though, with nades. They're not a good spot to be. They're trapped like rats. 2 of them will die. And because of it, now 47 to 44 with 26 on the clock. Good vibes don't only need kills. They got to move quick. 48 now.
That was a good shot onto Veronickuh there. Good vibes recognizing that their backs are against the wall, but we've seen how well they can do when that is the instance. That's not going to be the last one for them. It's 47 to 48. 8 seconds left on the clock. 1 kill to tie things up and send us into overtime, or 2 more here for Falling Esports to pick up the win. Can they find it? It's so dang close, but
wait.
That means we've got they got it. They got it. We've got 3 minutes left on the clock now.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even see it happen, but
I didn't. I thought that was it. I thought Good Vibes had lost that one barely. Oh, and you know what? At the end of the day, they did end up losing it. They pushed it out, at least tied things up when the clock hit 0 seconds. So under pressure, man, these gals are so dang good. But that means that Falling Esports is now sitting at match point for this series.
Man, these you called it on the leg bouncing, because I've been doing the same thing the whole way through. But my God, these games are so close. And like you said, they're playing well under pressure. You can also feel the pressure, though, as well, like the anxiety in that final kill. I'm not sure who it was. I think it was maybe Songfullyy, but trying to chase down the kill and knowing she needs it so bad that she throws a stick and the stick bounces in front of her, but she needs to get the kill. So she almost jumps onto the stick to, practically kill herself just to get that final moment. And that's kind of the pressure that we're dealing with. That's just how close this series is. But like you said, in the end, Falling Esports, they walk away with a close shave, a win. Now 2-0 in the series. All they need is 1 more game. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to find out who can take this series, but a hell of a series we've seen so far. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to, you would think on paper, right, 2-0 lead coming out from the side of Fallen Esports. Like, wow, this has been pretty one-sided, but it's been nothing but. And I got to be honest with everybody, the Ladies Spartan Pro Series powered by Game Gooder has been anything but a blowaway. You know, in the beginning, we had our 3-0s, but, I mean, even those 3-0s were still incredible. And this one could be a 3-0 Shyway, but the first 2 maps we have had have both went to overtime in sensational fashion. We go back to map 1. Let's recap that CTF.
Right, 3-0 on paper maybe, but a roller coaster of emotions the whole way through. It's been ridiculous. I can't believe how close it was in game 1. I think that the biggest moment, of course, was Veronickuh and the play that she made at the very end to get kills, pull the flag, cap the flag, and then Dreamyy Dreamm, somehow she's in position, she's there to relay in the final second. Wild.
I mean, just, it was really beautiful. Like, it honestly was, and even here on Slayer, right, it comes down to 48-47, and then you both missed a kill. I missed a kill. It must have happened off camera, Jolly, but either way, that kill came through, tied things up 48-48. They go into OT, 3 more minutes is added. It's closed out 30 or so seconds later, ends 50-48. We see Fallen Esports taking their second map, but I mean, this has been so incredibly close. We're looking at the scoreboard. Memzy stands out to me, right? 9 KDA, 17 kill, 9 deaths. She has those assists across the board. Looking fantastic, to be honest with you, onto the side of obviously Good Vibes, but still not able to convert that to a W.
Man, it's rough, too, because both of these games, you're right. This is a match point situation right now for Falling Esports, but my goodness, I'm at the point where it's like Good Vibes deserves a win, right? I would hope that in the next game, I would hope that when we head over to Strongholds, this is something where Good Vibes says, all right, we're going to actually take what is ours, because that really has kind of been the situation here is, I mean, down to literally 1 second or 0 seconds twice in a row, which is crazy to think. And there we can see 4-3 the score line, and then for Team Slayer at the end, it ended 50-48. And you have to wonder, too, if the players themselves that were on the side of Good Vibes had the same thought as us, you know, and was like, oh, the game's over? Wait a minute, it's not over. Somebody got the
Maybe
kill.
Got surprised.
Right,
yeah,
we need to keep fighting, and you know, that's when you have that kind of moment of realization of, uh-oh, have am I in a bad position right now that I'm going to get taken down?
Yeah.
It was pretty quick for those 2 kills to follow it up so that Falling could actually win the game.
And Shyway, let's talk about the realism here, though. Good Vibes are putting on a great effort. Jolly says they deserve a win at this point. And honestly, I agree with that. I really do. At certain points, I'm cheering for them. I'm unbiased to who wins this series, to be honest with you. But even your predictions, I know both of you are pretty unbiased as to who wins. We have fun, but at a certain point, though, it comes down to heroics. It comes down to last heroic efforts. We've seen Veronickuh do that. Whoever picked up that kill to bring it 48-48. But you can't bank on consistently pulling off heroics like that to win a series. Whereas Fallen Esports have seemed to be a bit more consistent. Where is Fallen Esports capitalizing where Good Vibes aren't?
I mean, off of that second game, it's hard to say, right? Because we had definitely banked on the whole, Veronickuh, she's popping off. Everybody else needs to kind of, pop off with her to make things work. But they did, right? They brought their sleighs up and they kind of evened the odds here. So I'm just, it almost feels like this is a tiebreaker, but it's not a tiebreaker, right? Because it was, it was so dangerously close. So go for it, Taylor.
No, I mean, I agree, man. The tiebreaker, but not a tiebreaker. It's map 3, up 1, team up 2-0. Like, honestly, Shyway, that's the best way to put it, brother. And, this map 3 is going to be exciting. It really is. And Good Vibes, if you truly believe in this roster, send them your good vibes. Give them your energy because these ladies need it to come back in the series. Let's head into map 3. Take it away.
Well said, Taylor. This is exactly what they need. And Veronickuh, I mean, who else to bring the good vibes but the IGL right here as she flanks her way through center map. Going to be 2 immediately, and that's a rough way to go. We'll see what they can do off this answer.
It is the double cap right now in favor of Good Vibes. Of course, it looks like A has just transitioned over to Falling, so they've left B out in the open. Definitely the more difficult. I think it's kind of universally agreed upon that A and C, they're at the end. You don't have to watch your back every single second. With B, you absolutely do. There are vantage points, there are tunnels, and it is very easy to get yourself in a sticky situation. It looks like Falling is finding quite a few kills on the board here, though, and setting themselves up for more success to come.
And note that that's also what makes the B stronghold so important, though, right? It's that central anchor point. You've got access to both either C or A hold and sight lines across the map as well. So if you do control B, despite how risky it can be to fight back there, just hiding in the back of B can be such a nuisance for the enemy team because you're always cutting them off, whether they're coming out of C, coming out of A. You've always got a great cut-off route to stop things in their tracks. We'll see, though. Currently, A, B, and C accounted for by Falling Esports, so we got to see something out of Good Vibes. Look at the timer already, 73. As we're introing the game, it's just bleeding time here, apparently.
I mean, it stacks up really quickly when you have full control like that. It is going to be C that manages to be taken here by Good Vibes, and it looks like they actually split themselves up entirely across the map, working on taking both A and B separately, looking for total control themselves, and they actually might get it here. They do temporarily. C is going to be pretty quickly responded to and picked up back by Falling Esports. What a kill right there. Dreamyy Dreamm ending up going down, and it's most of Good Vibes that gets wiped here on the follow-up play.
Good Vibes had a nice little opening, but like you said, once again, Falling Esports, they snapped back, and they did it with good timing. I think PinkSakvra had access to that camo. She was fighting for it. She might be able to break away. You can see she's still alive, and she is bottom mid with that camo. They got A and B at the same time. And what does PinkSakvra do with this opening? You can see CommandStation and Ideas out front. Here's the team push through center.
PinkSakvra just says, yeah, I can take the last shot on that one. The team moving as a full unit here, and it's working out pretty well for them. PinkSakvra now, she stays in this vantage point. She's got the Mangler as well as the battle rifle here, so looking for some of these close quarter fights. Of course, we can see the heat wave has been pulled out, and it's working out for Good Vibes. They've made their way over to A to ensure that that is secured for them, maybe giving them some opportunity to break into B, and that is their aim. At least moving forward here. We'll see if Falling Esports actually makes a move on it. If they allow this one to get passed over. Songfullyy gets caught out from behind. They are going to stall out the capture, though, and everybody from Good Vibes on the point gets taken down.
And that's the brutal reality for this team here, is they're just trying to find openings, but there's always somebody there to ruin their day, to flank through and stop the play here. Thankfully, Memzy and Songfullyy, they will pick up 2, and finally they get numbers on the map. Can they act off of this? Looks like they're waiting for spawners instead. You already got to push out of ideas onto A. Veronickuh wants a piece of this action. She's going in for it. And she'll take the kill, gets the shields off of one, I think, who's picked up shortly after. So they'll keep A in play here. But as long as they don't have C, their opponents will always spawn up in high ground. Thankfully, it looks like those spawns have flipped, though. Good Vibes going to take C as well. So nice little turnaround here.
There it is. We'll see if they're actually capable of doing that. It doesn't look like it. Ideas on the back end, and the rest of the team just converging right here at Tower. Trying to keep this vantage point. It's working out quite well for them. Of course, they still have a pretty massive lead in terms of points. PinkSakvra missing a couple of shots there, but actually picks up a triple kill. Instantly goes down to Songfullyy, who manages to snag that active camo, peeps around the corner, picks up a kill, and moves forward. Still with AC in activation.
The fact that PinkSakvra could get a triple there and somehow Songfullyy still gets the camo, like that's wild that she stayed up, played it patient, still gonna walk away with the power up for it. Can she get a kill though? She will. Idea gonna drop. She's gonna stay up in B and take a second, just brawling here, bottom stronghold. She needs to live. 47 on the board for Good Vibes. They got a lot of work to do, but it all starts with this control.
It's always so crazy to me, too, how quickly we see transitions of, full control or total control in favor of one team getting picked up immediately with, a single push, basically, across 3 points to another team, and then immediately responded to, right? I mean, it's either all red or all blue down at the bottom. It looks like Good Vibes is trying to take control of A there, as they do. B has immediately been jumped on here by Esports, who want to close this one out sooner rather than later, and given the standings right now, they are looking pretty primed and ready to do that. Of course, it looks like Good Vibes is now trying to go for that C play, so they have control of the tower.
The trick here essentially is just how quickly and efficiently your team takes back that control, how they counter some of that as well, right? Because early, oh my God, okay, rude. Or just sit in center map and like you said, rude. That was the whole play is gonna come from that too. She'll take a triple off of that single backsmap and a nice. I can't even talk.
Oh my God, it's an overkill! It's an overkill! We got it! We got a team wipe, baby! And it's Good Vibes, it's Veronickuh! What a standout player!
Can we just, I lost my mind after she did the 360, right? Because she got a backsmack to start, drops down, picks up 2, does a full 360 spin, and then gets a kill in C. And because of it, they got some map control off of it. They still got work to do, but that's a hell of a play.
Huge play, and of course at that point Veronickuh painting a big old target on her face. They're working on capturing A here. She should be able to get that control. Picked up the capture, picked up a kill on top of it. That gives them the man advantage to move around, but Memzy gets cut off at C. It's total control for Good Vibes, and they are still down, but not nearly as far as they were before. We can see that they're nudging closer and closer to 100 points, but it's going to be C as the first one that goes back to falling.
That overkill definitely has to be a confidence boost. You can see Falling Esports looking a little bit staggered after it happened. 105 at this point. They've got low map control, but still time in their favor. CommandStation, though, slipping into A. Going to disrupt things. Now up to Veronickuh in the center of the map here. She's got to try to make a play. Still got her teammate out center. Snaps back to Veronickuh. Double dilemma here, though. Who does she fight, right? She'll try to wrap around the nest. It's just not quite good enough, and Falling Esports still take advantage, get back to B.
Really solid grenades coming out of Falling Esports, and it's just, a kind of a proxy. It forces members out of position, especially if you're hiding behind a pillar, and especially if you're in a location like B, where you are accessible from one direction or another somewhere on this map. So A and B now over to Falling Esports. It's going to be PinkSakvra that just gets picked off immediately, but Good Vibes have a couple of their own members down, so they're not going to be able to make a move on either of those points.
Songfullyy takes a big double there, but like you said, it's still difficult to move, and I like the timing at a Dreamyy Dreamm. She waits patiently, comes back, secures the kill. Now it's an easy cap onto B. What can she do with it, though? Just going to lock down the sight line. Idea's now pressuring her, hanging out back B. You can stay alive. You can milk this situation if you know your opponent's there. Ideas, and thankfully she spots her first. And can she finish the kill? We got nades coming in, got to play it so patiently. And you got to respect the patience at a Dreamyy paying off for her. As the team play comes in, they can rotate to C, maybe take back high ground, unless CommandStation changes that. Look at that, she's got 2 in the feed.
PinkSakvra as well on that. It's going to be an assist, though, getting picked up. Veronickuh, CommandStation finds the one, should be able to stall this out. Ends up getting taken down with the melee from Dreamyy Dreamm, and that means the C has been picked up by Good Vibes, but it took so long But in the meantime, Falling Esports is able to collect themselves A and B. It is Dreamyy Dreamm who manages to snag that active camo as they pressure forward here for good vibes on to B. A pinch situation here, but Falling Esports is just a little bit quicker to the punch.
Dreamyy Dreamm is the impact player here, though. Killing spree. Now that she got that kill, her opponents are going to call her out. They should know she's here. Somehow xByankiss does not know, though. Little rotation at a Dreamyy Dreamm could likely delete xByankiss. It takes a couple extra shots, but she does the trick. That's a capture onto A. They already got B secured. So if she can get in the middle of this and stop that rotation to B, you can see she's looking to do just that. And maybe they can slow their roll.
Good job, good communication, and good vibes, apparently, that we are seeing from this team. And they know, again, they're back to the wall, right? They're now over 200 for Falling Esports in points. They don't need a ton left to win, and not just this game, but the full series, because they have won the 2 previous games. And good vibes, they fought so hard to get here. They got taken down in the semis very early on, but they fought all the way through the lower bracket and had come to facing Falling Esports. But my goodness, the struggle that they are having on this one is real, and very good reason for that. Falling Esports really popping off, but good vibes. They found themselves some control. Can they stop the C take? They cannot.
It was a beautiful little bait and switch, though, out of the team, right? They all decided to push A together, and because they did, they won their fights, they secured it, and now they're all moving together to C. Look at this flank at a Songfullyy. Her teammates pick up the pieces. That's going to be a C-side cap, and now they got to be ready for the cutoff on the spawners. You can see CommandStation so quick to get to B. Songfullyy is aware of it. She'll drop a couple nades in. She's going to get right down on top of her. Can she get the kill? She will, and is secure onto B as well. There might be 205 for Falling, but this is not unwinnable. We're starting to see some progress here at a good vibes.
Does look like C is going to be taken back once again by Falling Esports. That's okay, because as we can see, Songfullyy is on the rotation back over to A. She should be able to cap this one in response. Of course, the rest of Falling Esports is there to try to stop that. The capture does come through, but Falling is everywhere they need to be. They're going to take B. They're going to take A. They have total control again, and they only need 40 points, less than that, to win the game.
Killing the entire team like that is quite a bane for them because they know where they're spawning and they can get aggressive on the spawn. So early kill right there. It does end up being a trade. xByankiss is going to drop Memzy. Another one going to drop for Dreamyy, and they're just bleeding time. 2:32 and counting here. Veronickuh now in trouble. She can't stay up. The pinch comes in. Spawner's likely outside here. You can see one by the scoreboard in the back of A, and they're already on top of spawns. What do? They're getting shut down left and right the final couple seconds, and Falling Esports, they're too strong. They'll close it out with a 250 to 154. A hell of a series, but in the end, only one team is going to win this. That's Falling Esports.
And you know what? At the end of the day, if you look at the paper, it's pretty definitive. It's a defiant win, of course, that Falling Esports has gotten, even though, my goodness, I could have blown my voice out in this series because there were so many moments that I thought the game was over, and then that wasn't the case. So many moments that I thought that Good Vibes had it, and then that wasn't the case. I mean, I was just setting myself up for failure in watching this journey. But Good Vibes, it's sad to say goodbye. But that's how the way the cookie crumbles, especially when Falling plays like that.
Yeah.
That's just how tournaments work, right? It is sad to see them go, though. Good Vibes played incredibly well. Veronickuh stole the show for me, Haley. I mean, just playing so well, Shyway, and the way that she just performed across all 3 maps, even getting the overkill, my lord, it was incredible.
Is that the only overkill we've seen today? It's the only one I've seen.
I think so.
I think so.
I wish I gave it more justice. I didn't expect it to happen, right? When I saw her 360, I'm like, oh, she's just BMing now. Like she's just playing with her food, right? And then
but
all of a sudden there's another kill.
You know?
I mean,
don't worry, I got it. I provided the hype because when I see an overkill, I am going to yell at that point. Especially, honestly, a triple kill is hype enough, right? When it comes to like 4v4 situations, if you're able to find out that last member, even when they're trying to separate themselves, that's chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. Best way to put it. Okay, best way to put it. And I want to point out something that I didn't bring to the storyline in the beginning, and I apologize for that. For Good Vibes, I think it's fair to say Memzy, although maybe a lackluster map number 3, she did hold her own in maps 1 and maps 2, and she played incredibly well. And one thing that I do want to say about her, she does come from COD. This is her first Halo title, and I think she played her life and focused on positioning pretty appropriately outside of map number 3, which is my worry that I had for Memzy coming into this. But as far as I know, officially, unofficially, from what I was told, she is in fact a fill-in for week number 1. So next week, it should be Lady Echidna actually floating back to replace Memzy. Now, Lady Echidna is in chat. She can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I heard that from either Veronickuh or one that I was speaking to. But I think Memzy, for a fill-in for temporary, I think she played incredibly well.
Right.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, this is the over. Right. I mean, if you want to go ahead and just put that on repeat, we can just keep watching it.
You're right. I'm okay with that.
But like you said, yeah, Memzy, I think the skill from COD definitely translates. She held her own for sure, but when you bring in Lady Echidna into this team, well, that's a different team now.
Yeah, that's
so
huge.
I cannot wait to see where they go. Like we said, they might be down for now, but that's just week 1, and there is so much yet to come with Echidna on the roster. It's going to be a hell of a team for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I was told. Lady Echidna, again, she's been in chat. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I was told, and I said I was told I had free reign
now
to
we're
say
all
that
expecting
during the broadcast. I know. I put it out there. That's what I was told. I said, is it cool if I say this on broadcast? And it was like, yeah, that's fine. But I think with good vibes, having Memzy as a fill-in and doing as well as they did, you throw in Lady Echidna, like this roster could be very scary, which is going to be pretty incredible because the series was already as close enough as it was against Fallen Esports.
Right.
Plus, they were 3-0ing teams that were in the winter bracket earlier, and they almost went the distance to play against Need 8's Bad, which, mind you, they did take a map off of them last week for day 1 on Saturday of this event of the bracket. So a lot of potential here for good vibes. Truly impressed with the way they played. Veronickuh, got to be a fan of her now with the way that she was pulling off the flat caps, or maybe even potentially picking up that final kill to bring it 48-48 to extend the Slayer for 3 more minutes, or even picking up the only overkill we've seen today. She really stole my heart, and I got to say, shout out to you. You did an incredible job. But the reality is good vibes. They do drop out of the bracket. Fallen Esports will move forward. Shyway, they're about to play against Need 8's Bad. That's going to be a matchup.
I mean, thankfully for Fallen Esports, they did, despite it being as close as it was, they 3-0'd yet again. So they're looking pretty damn good. That's a hell of a lot of momentum and confidence to bring into this Need 8's series, and they're going to need confidence against them, because if any team has confidence, it's Need 8's. They are relentless. This is going to be the duel, I think, with Miss Audi, with CommandStation, kind of, at least in my opinion, as to who can grab and control that snipe and make some of the biggest plays to really swing the game. So I expect a hell of a brawl. The winner of that then, of course, moves on to face Hydra, and Hydra, a hell of a unit. So hopefully what we gain from this series is some last second reps to be ready for Hydra later.